Let's get it underway. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin episode number 25 of season 2 of Beyond the Rift, starring the one and only I'm a Cutie Pie, your host with the most fantastic player. Round of applause for me, everyone. Thank you. Glad to be here today. Joining me today, my lovely co-host, Scar. Scar, give him a quick intro.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm the guy who had to wait 40 minutes for Kitty's last game day.
Hey, it's 30 minutes. Wait, it's 30 minutes.
What a great game. Fuck. I'm the consistent co-host around here, and me and Kitty just talk about random shit on the show. So thank you for joining us, and we're joined by a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Bjergsen. I'm the mid laner for Team Slow Mid, professional League of Legends player.
Scar, I just want to comment, Scar, the way you usually you just say some useless shit, like I used to play on Dignitas, blah, shit nobody cares about, dude. That was good. That was good. I like that one. You mixed it up a little bit right there.
I spent weeks on that one, dude. Don't expect it again.
Alright, fair enough. Before we get into the topics, just a quick Discord live question and answer. You guys love Discord. I love Discord. We all love Discord. Download Discord, use the program. You can ask us questions at the end of the show. We'll hand pick the questions that are the best of the best, and we'll have them answered live. But let's get right into the topics then, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with topic number 1. So topic number 1. So you've been noted by your peers as someone who's incredibly focused on League. Do you think it's possible to be successful as a pro League player without committing your life to it?
Oh, man. I mean, it depends what you mean by committing your life to it. I think at the very minimum, you're going to be committing at least 10 hours a day, but it depends if that's what you define as committing your whole life to it.
All right, I got a question because I make all these questions. Can you be the best player in the world if you don't commit all your time into the game? Or like, can you be world's good without doing it? I'm just curious.
You can probably make it to Worlds, but can you be one of the best players at Worlds? I don't think so, no.
You think then you have to commit at least like 16 hours a day to League to be one of the best? Like, what amount of hours would you say is like, this guy's playing in this many hours, he's got a chance?
I mean, I think it depends because I guess some people might have more efficient practice, but they need more rest time. Some people might just be the kind of people that just need to grind. Like I watched Crown, and he played in one split of solo queue, he played like 1,700 solo queue games or something like that, which is also a lot more than me. And he seems to just be the player that needs to hard grind to just feel confident in himself and his ability, I guess. So I think it's different for everyone. I guess the amount that you would need to spend the minimum is like for scrims, I think most teams play between 6 and 8 games, which is probably I guess anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, depending on how much you spend on meetings, review, post-scrim meetings, and then, of course, you have to play solo queue. I mean, to keep up on your champion pool, to expand your champion pool, to stay on top of your mechanics, I think you have to play solo queue. And people that say solo queue is useless, I kind of disagree with. So I guess anywhere between 8 to 10 hours is the bare minimum. But some days you don't spend that much time. Some people actually take a day off, like a full day off. Some people just need to rest either after scrims or on or like after LCS games. So I don't think it's necessary to spend that much time every day, but I think that most days you will be. Yeah.
What about you, Bjergsen? How much time do you spend? I've been hearing. I've heard a lot from your peers that you go the extra mile. What does the average day look like for you?
Leading up to playoffs, I think the average day was wake up at like 10, which is pretty late for normal people's standards. We meet up at 10:30 every day, or sometimes at 10. We have like a 30-minute meeting, and then we scrim pretty much from 11 to. We have 2 or 3 days a week where we do an extra scrim set, and those days will probably end between 9 and 10 p.m. and the other days anywhere between 7 to 8 p.m. with food breaks, obviously. Then we have 2 food breaks that are about, 30, 40 minutes, and you pretty much just have time to eat, rest. Sometimes I'll take a nap. Sometimes I'll lay down, like read a book for 10 minutes to kind of reset my mind, or some people meditate. And then after that, I'll usually play solo queue for 2 to 3 hours before I get ready for bed. So
do you think a schedule like that's a bit too harsh? Because when I hear stuff like that, it's like, Jesus, man, that's pretty rough.
I think for me personally, I've tried taking less time, and there was even a time during this week where I was going to the gym a lot, maybe 5 times a week or something like that. But it just reached the point where I didn't feel as confident in my abilities because I wasn't putting in the same amount of time. So when there was a certain champion or a matchup that I hadn't been playing as much because I had taken like an hour and a half for most of my weekdays to go to the gym and do whatever else I had to do, like come home, shower, eat. It takes time out of your day. I just didn't feel as confident in my abilities. So when I started really putting in the hours again, I started feeling a lot more confident in myself. So I think it depends on people to people, but for me, I think I need to put in the time to feel competent going into scrims, going into matches.
Okay. Scar, how do you feel about that? Because for me, hearing that, like, that kind of schedule, that's some hellish shit right there.
Dude, I expect it, man. When I hear of players who are trying to be, like, world contenders, 14-hour days. That's what he just said. Like, 14, 15-hour days. I can respect that, I like hearing that. I think, if you're going to play a video game or like a profession where like maybe the career length isn't that long, like I think that, you're going to burn bright and you can burn really bright with this and then burn out real quick. It's just situational based on the person. I think long term is probably pretty bad, but if you want to have a chance at doing well at Worlds, this is like a pretty normal schedule for a lot of teams. I would have to imagine. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, let me ask. Oh, you can go.
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead, Cutie.
I was gonna ask you, Scar, what would be a Scar type schedule that if you wanted to be a world contender play, like when you used to play in the LCS, what was the
rock solid Scar? What was the schedule like?
Yeah.
Wait, do you not remember? Because you got pissed off when I was playing like really bad. I didn't know what else to do. All I know what to do is like I'm like the guy who just grinds, like super hardcore grinds. So like I would just wake up at like 10, start playing League at like 1. We go through the scrim block and then I'd finish at like 2 a.m. And so I would just be playing solo queue like nonstop or doing scrims nonstop. My average days were 14 hours. I burned out at 14 after like a split, so I had to drop to 12. And then I was really comfortable with 12. And then when I went to streaming, I burned out at 12. So I'm really comfortable with like 9 to 10. But I don't think I can stream 12 hours. So there's like personal limits where you have to find like kind of stretch yourself. And then you have to be like, you know what? At this amount of time, I don't want to do anything. So yeah, I think for me, 12 was kind of my limit, 12, 13. But I think that's just normal if you're playing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think those are very different though, because when you're scrimming, it's not like you're scrimming for 8 hours straight, 10 hours straight. It's half of the time is spent discussing the game, preparing for the game.
VOD review, like prep, holy shit.
When you're streaming, it's like you're just playing 12 hours straight. I think that's personally a lot harder to do than having these long scrim days.
Hell no. I'll say that. Hell no. Dude, in solo queue, I just played a game. It was like an hour-long game. I lost that shit. Who gives a shit, man? I lost that thing. Well, fuck, dude. Guess I'm gonna go do something else. I don't give a fuck. At least, I know when I used to play competitive, like in scrims, if I lost that shit, it's like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Like, what could I have done? Like, it's like scrambling to find an answer, dude. In solo queue, it's like, well, fuck, dude, you got me. Way to go, dude. I don't know. Maybe it's different for me. I definitely couldn't do 14 hours though. That would be very mentally exhausting. No 14 hours of League for this boy. But let's go to the next topic now. So, you've worked with a multitude of coaches throughout your career, what would you say has been the most helpful thing you've learned from them?
Oh man, I think the thing that had the biggest mentality shift for me was just like Loco and Andy kind of trying to shape me into a leader and telling me that it's really not that bad to be helping your teammates out and studying your teammates' roles and sometimes micromanaging them within the game, because I was very self-centered at that time. It was like season 4, season 5, and I was really upset with my teammates because I felt like they weren't carrying their own load and they didn't, I guess, understand their roles within the games and what they were supposed to do in the game. And I had to help them a lot, and it was really frustrating for me because I thought in an ideal world, everyone would carry their own weight and then we would be the best team. But I learned that, and I was told that no team is like that. There's pretty much no team where everyone knows their place and everyone communicates all the things that they need to communicate. So I just kind of learned that it's okay to pick up other people's slack and take time, I guess, to study and talk to your teammates about their roles and their understanding of the roles, because you're only as good as kind of the worst player in your team. So yeah, that was a good mentality shift for me back then.
I respect that you learned that, because I know Scar is smiling right there. That was my ultimate downfall right there, is I could not fucking accept. I was like, dude, how can you not fucking play your goddamn? This is like the only thing you fucking play, dude. Like that shit. If I had a coach like that could teach me that, I'd probably still be in it to win it today. But like, I just could not get over that mental gap of like, it's okay to like help your teammates. It's okay to like just. What are you going to say?
That mental thing you're talking about is the same problem that every top team back then had. So, Dig, CLG, and Curse at the time all had that problem where it was like, they would like be so upset with some of their players not knowing how to play the game. And it's like, well, I think over time people realize, well, that's why you have coaches there to build foundations so that everyone kind of knows what everyone's doing. But holy shit, yeah. I remember so many times where Kitty would just get in arguments with like Crumbs and be so mad that like Crumbs couldn't see what he saw. Because at the time, Kitty was like really, like I would say relatively far ahead of his peers in terms of like game understanding. Nowadays, maybe not the case, but but back then definitely. And so like he would get really upset, and like part of that conflict like made it really hard to be great teammates with everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Hearing that's very refreshing, because that's like. Probably chat doesn't that's like one of the hardest things, because I mean, realistically, yeah, you should be able to like help your teammates and stuff, but trying to get in that attitude of like, I need to like be more willing, that shit's hard as hell to do. Like, I know I couldn't do it, so I just ended up being some washed up fucking master tier trash player that I am today. But that's good. What exactly did they do to make you able to see it? They just like explain some stuff for you, because I wasn't able to do that shit.
And I had some pretty rough conversations with Andy where I was, like I said, I was feeling pretty entitled, and I just pretty much said that, I don't know, my teammates suck at this, or they don't understand this. And Andy pretty much just said that, when I played in season 1, I just played my lane, I farmed Raptors, and I was micromanaging my teammates, every move, every trade. Obviously he's over-exaggerating it, but he's pretty much saying that in order for him to win, he had to micro his teammates in the game. And he just said, if you want to succeed, that's something you have to do too. And it's not like we just have one conversation that changed my mentality, but kind of over time and over failing and over learning, I realized that, of course, not micromanaging everything that your teammates do, but if they're lost in the game and within the game, keeping an eye on them to make sure that they are doing the right thing, or they are building the right items, or these minor things. It's just kind of keeping them in check, both in and out of game.
Shit, dude, makes me wish we had coaches back then. I had Scar as my coach, dude. That should be enough to tell you what happened to the tale of Amakiba.
All I'm saying is, I went to playoffs with COG the next season. What happened to Dig when I left?
Alright,
good calls, good plans, right?
Wait, actually, that reminds me. When I went to interviewing like the year after I coached CLG, there was one interview I had, I think, with Keen, and he said something during the interview after a game. He's like, "Yeah, our top lane had problems this game. I don't really know what happened, and I hope that like it gets fixed sometime soon. And I heard that, and I was just like, oh my god! If someone tells me they don't know what another person in their role is doing at the time, and he says, I hope it gets fixed, that I could tell they weren't gonna do well that split. I think they got like bottom 3, but it was just like, if I ever hear someone right now say that they don't know what someone on their team is doing, it's like a really big, like, holy shit, your team structure.
That's that passive aggressive shit. That's what I used to say all the time. Dude, I know all about that kind of shit because I was locked in that mentality, dude. That's that good fucking stuff right there.
I think just a lot of people, I mean, for job security, you want to watch out for your own performance and how you do. So first and foremost, obviously people are going to care more about themselves and their individual performance, but I agree. I hear interviews even from I think Caps said recently in an interview that like the main thing that he really cares about is his own performance. And I think that's fair, but you kind of have to, if you want to succeed, you kind of have to take responsibility for not just your own performance, but all of your teammates too. Obviously, you can't fully change your teammates' performances, and I'm never perfect, and no player really is perfect, but to some degree, you have to also take it upon yourself to help them improve.
Dude, I remember like when I was talking to like Link way long ago, everyone remembers like Chaucer, what was it? That was Afro Double as being like a super good bot lane duo. And it turned out like they were terrible at the very beginning. But apparently what happened was like Link would just sit down with them with like Chaucer and just run through bot lane matchups. I think it was either like Chaucer double lift or Afro double. They would run through matchups every single night together until like, so that they could bounce back ideas to make sure they were like the best bot lane. And then they were like ridiculously good that year, like world class level bot lane. And it was crazy how much work like the other teammates put in to make sure that their bot lane was getting along together and making sure they were like at the very top of their game.
Shit, why don't we do that on Dignitas, dude, if you knew all
What? You hated half the people, dude. Come on.
Hey, I didn't hate them. I just thought that they blew. Dude, there's a difference. Come on, man. All right, let's go to the next topic. Yeah. For the first time in NALCS history, TSM will not be at split finals. What happened?
Wait, hold up a second.
Hitting me with the hard questions.
Hey, Scar makes the question, so if you got a problem with them, tell him about it.
I won't shoot the messenger. I mean, I think there's a multitude of problems. Obviously, it's not just one thing. It's never just one reason that you lose. I think there was a lot of minor things. I think people are going to really look to that we kept giving them Thresh, but honestly, Thresh is not like a super high tier pick, but it is one of Hakuho's most comfortable champions. And rather than just straight up banning it away, we felt confident in actually countering it and playing things against it that we thought were good, and we just weren't able to execute on that. So people are going to look at it as if we made no adaptation, but in reality, we just made the adaptation to try to play better against it and pick different things against it rather than just. No one felt so defeated that we just had to instantly ban it away. But obviously, we weren't able to execute, and Hakuho played a really good series, but there's just too many factors to just say, oh, Hakuho's Thresh won the series. Swain is broken. They lost because they left Swain open.
Yeah,
I think they're very the things that people point out to, but there's so many factors, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you don't think, like, one individual pick, like, they get Swain, auto fucking F it. There's no way we win this game. It's over. Terrible pick ban phase. Like, people were going crazy over, like, Swain threat. That shit doesn't matter, right? Because, like, ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, you have to play around it. Thresh isn't, like, a super fucking OP chip. Scar, what do you think of like people that are like Thresh and Swain? You got it. Why didn't they ban it away? That's their only chance of winning. Thresh
Scar, what are you wearing?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Scar, what the hell, dude?
All right.
Well, I was just
nice. It was nice being here, guys.
No, I felt a little bit, you know. Where's he going? I felt a little bit
Scar,
cold. I had to put something on, man.
Oh,
come on. I gotta say
just a little bit.
Alright.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't. I don't feel. anything towards clutch, because I think in reality we really lost to ourselves, and even when I rewatched the series, I don't feel like they made a ton of really good proactive plays. Mostly I felt like we died to a lot of their plays and we ran into a lot of plays. We had a lot of unforced errors. Not that Clutch is a bad team, but it wasn't like losing to SKT or losing to one of these insane teams. They played solid, and we just threw ourselves at them and played like garbage.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I looked at the series and I was just like, it's everyone's looking at Thresh, and Haku had like honestly a great series, right? I think individually, Clutch Gaming came in with like an insane. I watched their level of play. That series, they all kind of turned it up a level. Like their whole team. Like it was like you look at how they're doing. You ask people how they're doing in scrims, they're getting stomped every game. You ask people like how they feel about the game, even they're just like, it'll be a hard series. I don't know if we can do this. And it's like they show up, they do way better than even they expect. I don't know, man. I watched the series. I was just like, yeah, Swain's as OP as I thought. That was my takeaway for this series. I was like, yep. If you make errors and the other team has Swain, it's so hard to come back. I actually don't know how you come back from a Swain team if the other team knows what they're doing. Because that champ is crazy right now.
Yeah, I agree. Swain he's good at sieging. He's good at picking. He's impossible to gank. The only thing you can really do is play fast away from him, because I don't think his laning phase is really the best. So you can still push him in and make plays on the map. Like the Rise game, I dove bot lane level 4. I killed their top laner on a roam. In the first 15 minutes, I had so much more impact than Fevin. He kind of just sat in his lane, but we misplayed with all of our leads, and eventually Swain became a lot more relevant than me. And in the last game, I don't know. I don't know if you guys watched it. We pretty much played the skirmish as badly as you possibly could. Everyone messed up individually at some level, and we just all ran into Swain Jin, and from that point on, it was a pretty tough game. So I agree, Swain is a really strong pick, but I think at least in the game where I was playing Rise, we should have been able to just snowball off the lead that we had.
All right, Scott. Let me ask you then to finish up this topic. Do you think that this is going to be Bjergsen? I don't want you to hear it. Is this going to be the fall of TSM now that they lost the clutch game? Like people are saying that TSM is done for now. There's no way that they ever recover from this. Is that true, Skara?
No, dude, I'm so excited for next foot. Like, look, I'm sorry you guys lost. I always root for underdogs, so in most of the games TSM goes into, I hope the 6th place seed or the 10th place seed.
Don't say that, dude. Come on.
I'm just being truthful here. But now that you guys have lost, think about next season's storylines. They're so good. It's like the top 3 from before trying to make it back. Will TSM reclaim the throne? Like, I'm excited, dude. You guys may have. I think you guys are going to bounce back, and it's gonna be fucking painful for the other teams. But so I'm just really excited for kind of the future. As for those games, I mean, you said you did a lot of VOD review, just one really small thing. What's something that you individually could have done a little bit better as when you look back on all the VODs? You don't have to go over to the major game plans, all the mistakes of your team. I know pretty much everyone rewatches the VOD. Maybe you guys rewatched as a team. Maybe you did multiple times individually. What's just a small takeaway for your own personal play?
Let me think.
Or did you play perfect? Sorry, I didn't give you that option. That's also a possibility.
I mean, I think from my own individual play or from my sphere of influence, what I could have influenced, or just my individual play with my character.
Any one of them.
Any of those. It's just something small takeaway for your own personal self.
I think some of the bigger ones were just bad adaptation, and I was a part of some of the bad adaptation, and kind of we went away from some things that we had done in scrims after losing the second game. And I feel like we slightly lost confidence in how we've been playing, even though it was obvious that in the second game we had a huge lead. We were winning in all 3 lanes, and we had a stronger donor, and we should have been able to snowball that. So for me, I guess not being confident in our practice and falling back on what we're comfortable on. And in terms of my play, it's just I guess the thing that every leader really has to do, or in our team is mostly Mithy and I, is just making sure that everyone always knows what the plan is and everyone always has the plan in mind and knows when the next step of the plan is going to be. And at least in our team, I guess every team that I've pretty much been on, as soon as you aren't doing that actively or people don't know what their part of the plan is or don't know what is going to happen next or the exact time frame, that's when the mistakes are going to happen. That's when people are going to get caught or do stupid stuff or trade for no reason. And I feel like there were multiple times in that series where I didn't do a good enough job of reeling people in, and we had a lot of mistakes because of that.
All right. Let's go to the next topic then. So we talked on this show earlier about how a lot of team compositions are largely negated in the current meta, which focuses on Baron and team fighting. Do you think this is true? So I guess we can just like go, because we had talked before about like poke comps, like sieging like comps specifically made for sieging, comps specifically made for like split pushing. We had talked that we felt like those things kind of went away. Now it's just like pick a comp that can stack 5 people on top of each other and go fucking run down somewhere and do some shit. What's your take on it?
I think it's true for sure. I mean, there's variations. There's a comp that is better at sieging and goes into team fights. There's a comp that's better at playing 1-3-1, but ultimately you're using it for pressure so that you can get Baron. There is no like really 1-3-1 to end the game or siege and take every turret. The end goal for every team comp is getting Baron and getting Elder and kind of using that to win the game. So I think at least for like 99% of comps, that's the truth, yeah. I think it's a mix of I guess how the game is and how strong Baron and Elder is, even more so with the recent buffs, and also teams getting better at playing the game. And if you're playing as a siege comp, people understand that when they're setting up the siege, you can give up your tower, go push out the side lanes or base first and get tempo on the map, because eventually they're going to have to catch those side waves or they're losing out in gold. And you can give up one turret to get pressure back in the game, get vision control, or almost even out the gold lead by pushing the side lanes or just basing first. So I think the Pocons people know how to play against those better, and they don't just sit under their turret and get sieged on for 10 minutes and lose every tower. But it's a mix between people getting better and just the game catering more towards team fights and Baron.
Do you like that as a competitive player? Do you feel like the game, you like the current state of the game where like it is all team fight, Baron focused, like very, very much so, rather than the comps that you played before? Because you played in like seasons 3. I think you played in season 2 as well. You're a very like long-lasting player. You've seen all these types of comps.
Yeah, but I think in season 3 there was no resemblance of macro, at least not in my team. It was pretty much just, Bjerg, you pick Fizz or Zed, you go on the side lane and you push, and we'll do our best to hold the turret. There was no like resource allocation, just sending 2 people to push out the split pusher or matching different people against the split pusher. It was kind of like a no-brainer game, so I can't really compare season 8 versus season 3 split pushing. But I think that Pocons were very fun to play back then. I played a lot of Xerath, Mid-Nidalee, and these kinds of team comps, and I do miss playing that.
Yeah, what do you think of like? Because I remember you used to play Zed all the time. Do you wish at least Assassins and shit would make a comeback? Because I remember playing against your Zed all the time. That shit was a pain in the ass. Like, that shit was real annoying. I really hated that.
Yeah, I think Riot is going towards that too. I think they realized that the game was just becoming really boring and slow paced, so they started by like removing the support wards early game, removing the jungle wards early game, and now they're like buffing Ignite and nerfing heal, and I think they're looking into giving the minions more HP so you can't wave clear as easily, and that makes champions that don't wave clear as well but have stronger trades and I guess stronger laning phase has more potential to snowball better. So I think it's interesting seeing Riot kind of moving towards that more, how can I put it? More aggressive gameplay, I guess, or more trade heavy, gank focused, that kind of stuff.
Well,
I think it's fun.
Would you rather, in the ideal Bjergsen world, what would you rather do? Play Zed every game or play Galio every game?
Is that even a question?
I just got it.
I think AP Gallery has been pretty fun. You've been playing as AP Gallery, right? Where he
that shit's real
pretty
fun.
much wants just you. That's pretty much an assassin, to be honest. But
yeah, a tanky,
I think there should be a mix. I mean, I kind of enjoy playing all styles, which is why I have a lot of fun playing the game. I think recently I played like 20 Anivia games in a row in solo queue because I don't know, I just really enjoy the complexity that champion has. And if you watch like an average Anivia player and you watch Froggen, it's just the contrast is pretty incredible. But ideally, there should be all different kinds viable. But for a long time now, it's pretty much only been maybe one assassin champion viable at a time. Maybe Echo, maybe Fizz, maybe LeBlanc, but not really. It hasn't been an assassin meta or multiple assassins viable for a while.
Alright, the comeback of assassins is near from Riot Games. Wait, I have a question. I think Keely went off to grab something real quick. I have a question. Riot Games just like, I want to make supports less easy to play. I want to make it so you can punish supports easier. You think supports are too strong right now?
Actually, I don't watch Beyond the Rift that often, but I was watching an episode with the Shinshin where you guys were talking about, he was talking about how Braum is like way too tanky and all this stuff, but I do think that supports should be characters in the game.
Hell no, wait, I came back to hearing this, dude, what the hell? You think support, wait, what were we talking about? Support definitely shouldn't be champions. Agree or disagree?
Dude, I remember there was a point where the queue times were so long because no one wants to play fucking support and everyone is dodging because the role is just so boring. So to some degree, supports have to have an effect in the game. They can't just be...
Yeah, they had an effect in the game.
Ward bots that have only wards and boots.
You're telling me when you played Zed, when you looked at a support, he was literally a bag of gold. Like when I used to play, a support was literally a walking bag of gold. You didn't like that? Like, I'd find the support and I'd kill his ass.
An assassin point of view, but how do you think that support felt going 0-10 as Nami against my Zed? That just means no one is going to want to play support and only people... I remember there was a time where people pretty much only played support if they weren't good enough to play other roles because the role was so easy in comparison. But now I think the role actually has more depth and you can actually have an impact on the game. Like, the shit Hakuho did to us, he couldn't do that in Season 3, I can tell you that. He would die to like 2 spells.
That's the damn truth right there. Alright, fair enough. Let's go on to the next topic. This next topic, though, I'm feeling kind of hungry, so we're going to talk about something different here. We're going to talk about the Burger King, new sourdough king. We got Burger King here, and we're going to talk about the Burger King, sourdough king. It just got hand delivered to me here. Let me show everyone in chat. Take a look at it. Everyone, this is the new sandwich. Now, let me ask, this one's going to go to both of you guys now. Skara, I'll start off with you. Skara, is the Burger King new sourdough king considered a burger or a sandwich?
Dude, it's obviously a sandwich. A burger needs to have kind of like a curve to it. You know what I mean? This, I got one right here too, guys. This, there's no curve. They may call it a bun, but there's no curve. It's obviously a sandwich. And it tastes great.
Burger King, let me ask you, what do you think of the new sourdough king? We kind of sprung this one up.
I can't tell you how good it tastes because you didn't.
I'll tell you how good it tastes. It tastes fucking amazing. It's two patties, two huge patties, bacon, cheese, sourdough bread. Let me take a bite of it. Everyone, here's the sandwich. I'm taking a bite of it. Let me tell you how I feel about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the verdict's in is fantastic. I'm going to go with, this is a burger by all means. Burger King, my man Burger King knows his burgers. This is a fantastic, another killer one. We're gonna shoot it back one more time. The final verdict, though, from the man himself, is it a burger or a sandwich?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to agree with Skara. It doesn't give me the burger vibes.
There's
But
no curve.
You can make it whatever you want to make it, cutie. If you want it to be a burger, it can be a burger.
Well, there you have it, folks. It can be whatever you want, but it can only be
If
found.
you're feeling a sandwich, you can order it. If you're feeling a burger, you can order it.
It can only be
Whatever
found
your
at
dreams
Burger
desire.
King, though. Delicious, fantastic new addition. Everyone, round of applause to Burger King. Another stellar product. Way to go. All right, let's get back to the next topic now. So next topic. So League dominates a large portion of our lives every day. What do you guys do when you're not playing League? I'll start off. When I'm not playing League, I'm eating a sourdough king. Let me get another bite of it. Bjergsen, you can.
I don't have a whole lot of time outside League. There was a time, like I said, where I used to go to the gym a lot. I haven't really been doing that. I think right now most of my free time is spent sleeping. Sleep is important. I think in the past I didn't sleep enough while I was a pro. I kind of tried to I would just play a lot and then be like, all right, now I'm done playing. So now I'll just do other stuff and sacrifice my sleep. But no, I think I mostly read books, listen to podcasts, kind of just relax.
What's your favorite book that you've read and your favorite podcast? Obviously, podcast Beyond the Rift, so you can skip that one. Favorite book?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe your second favorite podcast.
My second favorite podcast. I like Michael Gervais. He's a sports psychologist. Let me see. It's called Finding Mastery. Just interviews with a bunch of different people about like high performance, psychology, things like that. I think it's interesting. I like Tim Ferriss' podcast too. Recently, my favorite book that I read is probably The Obstacle is the Way. It's just about sorry, I have a...
Hey, it's all good, dude. Sometimes you gotta yell.
Dude, we all watch Cutie Pie. It's like the same thing.
I think he just died in Fortnite.
Actually, let me ask you, because talking about Fortnite, what do you rather... Because you don't play a little Fortnite? You don't dabble a little bit in that?
No, I don't really play other games or watch TV shows because, I mean, I might like the game, but I don't like the game to the point where if I find something that I find more enjoyable, then when I sit in solo queue and I have a bad solo queue game, I'm thinking, God damn it, I wish I was playing Fortnite right now. Or, God damn it, I wish I was watching that TV show. So I just don't indulge in those things.
Wait. So let me get this straight. You play League 12 to 14 hours a day. In your off time, your enjoyable break is to sleep and read books and podcasts about performance enhancement for your gameplay.
I mean, I spend time with, occasionally I'll spend time with friends of mine or I'll spend time with my teammates, like building bonds with my teammates. 95% of my life is towards being a better player or being more successful.
Scar is judging you. This guy had like 20,000 books at the dig house. A big old nerd dude he was. He'd go upstairs and start reading. He was like, guys, let me crack open this new book I got. Sorry.
I respect that a lot. I didn't know it was to that extent. Like you're very much dedicated. I like that. That's a lot of respect for you right there.
Yeah, I think the sports psychologist thing, that's pretty cool actually. Cause yeah, like I said before, my biggest weakness was like not knowing how to, I don't know how to phrase, I guess how to improve. I didn't know like where to go from where I was, and I feel like that's actually a really good way to, I guess, get improvement.
I mean, I think I played the game for, I don't know, how old am I now? I'm like 22, and I started when I was 14 or 15, so I've been playing for a long time, and I think that continuously I didn't meet my expectations, or like we would drop out of groups or reach quarters at Worlds. And I was just, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just playing the game for like the majority of my time. And I just kind of realized that I have to do something different, or I have to change up the way I think about the game or think about leadership or the sport or esports as a whole. So that's why I started spending more time like reading books and listening to podcasts to kind of get new perspective and try things differently, because if you just keep doing the same thing and I'm continuously failing, then, I mean, I'm just crazy. Because you have to try to mix things up if they're not working,
Yeah, I can respect. That's the big brain shit right there. Sky, what do you do on your free time when you're not playing League?
I actually read like quite a bit. Like I would say about if I'm playing League 9 to 10 hours a day, and I'm doing offline content, like I would say about 10 hours a week, maybe. Then the rest of my time is spent like very much just reading. Like I'll just find random like fantasy novels and just read them all the way through. So I still am like a relatively prolific reader.
Prolific. That's how you're gonna describe yourself.
Oh yeah, dude, I use big words. That's how you know I read.
Define prolific.
Oh, let me Google it real quick.
This guy wants to use big words, doesn't even know what he's talking about. Just throwing words out there.
Present in large numbers or quantities, semicolon plentiful.
Okay, fair enough. What's your favorite book?
I really like anything by Brandon Sanderson. I think that he's a sick author. Really, really good.
That's how you a sick author. What's your favorite in his series?
I like his. I always intro people into Mistborn. I think it's really, really good. I think Name of the Wind is really good. I like Full Fate series by Robin Hobb. I like the. We can talk about this all day. I like a lot of what I just said. I don't want to get too far into it.
All right, fair enough. I guess for me, what I do besides playing League, whenever I'm not playing League, I'm usually playing with Leash. I'm playing Dota 2 now.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I've never played the original Dota, so it's like, I don't know what the hell's happened. It's kind of nice to just start because I don't know how to phrase. You kind of forget like the whimsical shit of League of Legends that first got you into it, you know? Because it's all just like like I don't look at champions like champions anymore. It's like these are just stat numbers. This champion does this. He does this in this matchup. He needs to do this to win it. Like in Dota, it's like, this guy looks cool, dude. I'm going to pick him, and I'm just going to do some stupid shit. Ah, fuck, I died. Whatever, man. Who cares? Like,
you're too used to the safety of your turret. That's not a thing in Dota.
Yeah, pretty much. I learned that the hard way. But, yeah, Dota is just a nice, refreshing thing. So I usually just play some Dota. But let's go to the next topic. This is the first offseason TSM has ever had. What are your plans?
Wait. Is that right? By the way, because I tried to think about it when I was writing this question. I wasn't sure, but I suspected I was right.
I mean, I have an off season after Worlds every year. It ends like late October, and we don't start scrimming until after New
don't
Year's,
you go to like All Stars and like MSI, all these like events all the time? Like, I think this is the first time TSM and you have had a actual off season, right? Or I guess an earlier off season.
Yeah, I would say so, or at least between the splits. Last year we had, when we came home from MSI, we had like 10 days until scrim started again. That was my break between the splits last year. So this is a bit nicer for sure.
Sorry, I interrupted, Kitty.
Yeah, so what are your plans? What are you gonna do for the off? You gotta go on like a little vacay, as they say.
Oh man. How long was it since we lost? It's been like 4 or 3 days, so I haven't really had too much time to map it out yet, but I wrote down a few things that I want to keep doing. I want to, I guess, kind of reconnect with my fans and my social media presence and my stream, because during the season, it's not a priority of mine at all. And I also feel like I don't have much important or interesting things to say while I'm playing. It's like, you guys heard what my day is like. That's not freaking interesting. Like, I don't feel like I have a lot of things really to contribute to social media or whatever, and I also don't have a lot of energy or time to stream, because often in between my solo queue games, I'm watching our scrims or watching VODs or watching matchups based on the champions that I'm practicing. That's not really stuff that I can show on stream. So that's, I guess, a plan of mine, and also reconnecting with friends, because of a similar matter during the season. I don't really keep in touch with people or talk to too many friends actively. It's mostly like maybe 1 or 2 friends, and then just my teammates and the people that I'm around. And I thought about learning a new skill or going traveling. That's all like to be determined, I guess.
What kind of skill would you want to learn?
I thought about like learning an instrument, learning a language.
Dude, I've always wanted to
like
learn
that.
how to play an instrument. I know where you're coming from with that. My parents, when I was younger, for Christmas, they got me a guitar, and they wanted me to grow up to be like Carlos Santana. I played that thing with the little, what is it called, like the pick or whatever. I broke the string immediately, and then I was like, fuck this shit, dude. I'm never gonna learn it. All I can do is play video games. That's all I'm good at. That's all I'm ever gonna do. So I put that thing away forever, dude. But yeah, I can respect that. I mean, is there anywhere in particular you'd like to travel to? Maybe Korea, something like that, or what do you think?
And I've been to Korea so many times. I think the new popular place is Japan that everyone's traveling to. So maybe.
Oh, I heard great things about there. I'm probably gonna go there later this year, if not next year.
Seems like everyone's going to Japan though. So.
Are you a
I don't
big
really
fan
know.
of
I haven't thought
Japanese
too much
culture? Is that something that entices you? You ever watch anime or anything?
I have watched anime, but not actively, or I haven't watched many. So I like Japanese food, if that's something.
All right.
I mean, I'm still taking time to think and figuring out what I want to use my time with. It was only yesterday that we kind of had a meeting about our sponsor obligations and what days we actually have that are free, because we still have we have to visit the Gillette headquarters, and we have like a week of shooting sponsor videos pretty much. So only after that do I really truly have time to go travel or visit family or whatever.
Dude, all I gotta say, I heard you say my life's really boring. You know, I don't really have much to say on social media. I remember the season, the entire year that Sven played on TSM, and every night at the same time he would tweet something like, "Man, I love playing League of Legends with my friends, with my teammates."
Yeah, we had a
do that daily.
I'm sure you can tell.
Oh, really? That's so funny. He tweeted that every single day. I was just like, what is going on with Sven? Did he lose his mind?
It was just, he would go out to his room and he's thinking like, God damn it, dude, I have to tweet something again. What's it going to be?
I thought he was just
great
hyped
time
up.
scrimming with my team. I love my teammates.
I figured he was just a happy guy. You don't feel
I
like
thought he was just making fun of that. That was so funny.
I mean, would you ever want to do those kinds of things? Just push yourself. I'm going to tweet every day, regardless of how little anyone cares about it. Would you do something like that, or you could? Because I know for me, I can't. I don't know how to use Twitter or Instagram, because I feel like anything that I talk, like, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares what I have to say? Like, This is what I'm eating, everyone. It's like, who gives this shit? What the fuck does it matter what I'm eating? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, 100%. There was a time where I made myself tweet every day, but it's not something that comes natural to me. I'm not the type of person that goes outside and sees something cool and think, oh, that'll be a great Instagram post or a Twitter post. It's just, maybe it's how I was raised or just the kind of person I am, but it's not something I'm naturally inclined to do.
Nah,
so
I think that's normal, dude.
Yeah, when I put stuff on social media, it's like, it takes effort and it takes, I guess, the awareness. So when I'm playing and when I'm practicing, that's kind of my number one focus. And I don't think like, oh, let me find something interesting to tweet. I'll do it maybe once a week or twice a week, because I don't want my Twitter or whatever to be just a graveyard. But every day is too much for me personally during the season, I think.
All right. Fair
Or I'm
enough.
just going to go full troll mode like Dennis did. But
I think people would be down to see
people also
that.
want to feel a level of authenticity and not just feel like you're just tweeting to tweet or you're just putting something out.
Well,
And they can tell
I
that you
felt Sven's tweets, okay? Physically. I was emotionally connected. Every night I was like, is he going to do it again? And he did it again. I was blown away.
It was impressive.
But I think also people know me better, or the fans know me better than they might know Dennis, because he hasn't been in the scene as long, or they don't know his personality as well. But I feel like if I was to tweet something out like that, people wouldn't see it as authentic, at least personally.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think it's funny.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the final topic now. Final topic being the Discord question and answer. This is where we go on the Discord.
Spicy questions.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty of fantastic questions, I'd imagine. So let's just get right into it. Let's warm it up a little bit. We'll go with an easy one. So It's Cornflakes wants to know, at Bjergsen, What's your favorite champion in the game, and what makes that your favorite champion?
Ooh. Like of all time or at the moment?
Of all time.
Of all time? I think probably Lee Sin is the champion that I've had the most fun playing throughout my time of playing the game. I don't know, he's just so fun to play. It's one of the most satisfying things when you kick someone back or you land that max range Q, and he's just a really high mechanical champion. And I think throughout time, when I started playing Lee Sin, it was like Season 1, Season 2 as a top laner. There's no such thing as an insect or kick flash or ward jumping was an advanced mechanic. So I think also over time, Lee Sin's mechanics have kind of evolved. There's always a new thing that you can learn. And I also enjoyed kind of always learning a new trick on that champion.
All right. LOL.
Even recently, there was this thing where you could like Q someone, then you could ward jump Q before you land on the ward, and you can kick someone mid-air in your Q.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous thing like that. It's like
I know
people are
you're
always figuring out new things.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever done that, but it's freaking cool.
Yeah, no,
I know the
you...
last patch. It was good.
Oh, it was on the last patch?
Yeah.
You can now queue the Wraith Camp from the River Bush mid lane. So you can go to edge of River Bush to Wraith Camp to ward jump behind the mid laner and kick him.
Oh, what the fuck?
So like even on the very last patch, there's actually like even new stuff coming up.
I like that. LOL Same wants to know, at Bjergsen, what do you or dislike the most about your new roster compared to the other ones? We're going right into it. I mean, hey, he said, what do you like? or.
Okay, so I can just go with all right. Let me start with like, I guess. I think in the new team, I feel like people are taking more responsibility for their own mistakes and their own like shortcomings, and they're really. I don't feel like I need to push them to be introspective or to, I guess, feel sorry for their mistakes, because everyone should feel responsible for any mistake that they do that loses their team a game or messes up a play or messes up like a coordinated play. And I feel like with this team, everyone is very, I guess, just introspective, and they take responsibility where it's due. And it's nice not feeling like your teammates are just kind of like, whatever, I fucked up everything, but, just whatever. I'll do it better next time. They actually take time, watch the replay, think, how can I communicate differently? How can I do this differently? What made this happen? So that's something I appreciate a lot in my teammates. Something that I dislike?
Here we go.
That's tough. Let me think. Something that I do dislike. I don't know, dude.
Anything's okay. You don't like the fact that this guy likes apples more than he likes oranges. Something like just anything.
Give me a moment to think.
Take your time.
I mean, I guess to some, yeah, you're a really good guy. I guess to some degree, building new relationships is nice, but it can also be stressful for me, because I am the type of person that kind of needs my off time, and on my off days, I don't always want to go out for team dinner or do team activities, but that's kind of more required or something that people want to do more often since we're a new team. But a lot of the time I feel bad because I turn that down because I just need my own time to reset and be by myself. So I guess that would be a negative of trying to rebuild new relationships in a new team.
All right.
Sometimes I kind of feel like a dick because I turn them down for stuff a lot.
Hey, that's pretty reasonable, man.
Because there has to be a mix between building friendships with your new teammates, but also having that time to reset so you can actually grind those long hours every day.
Yeah. String M wants to know. This one's gonna be at all of us. This is a pretty good question here, and everyone in the background screaming. What do you think about Fortnite and the current state of League? Are battle royale games the end of MOBAs? I'll let Scar start off with this. Scar, I know you've been playing Fortnite.
Dude, Fortnite, it's just like when MOBAs got popular, right? League ended up being the free-to-play model, and everyone jumped on board. Fortnite captured the cartoony free-to-play casual model, and they're running with it. Fortnite's not going to die anytime soon, and the model itself, the genre is not going to die anytime soon. They're going to be around a long time. Now, I still think overall, I think that even if stuff keeps getting introduced, it's going to be interesting when they start making it less casual, like introducing like a ranked system and stuff like that. Because right now, you just get thrown in with like anyone. Some guy who just started playing, you get thrown in with someone who like it's like Myth or Ninja or some shit, right? But I think that the model itself is here to stay, and it'll be here for a while. It was something that people didn't realize they wanted till they got it.
Is it the death of League of Legends?
Yeah, dude. Fortnite esports is going to be the future. When they get their franchise league,
I want to know.
I'm going to be afraid.
How much Fortnite are you playing
Compared
to League of Legends?
I'm playing like 5% Fortnite, 3% Fortnite. I play so much League right now, dude. Are you serious? I hurt myself physically because I play League so much. That's what the people in the house tell me. I like play way too much League, but I love League, so I just like playing it.
All right, fair enough. Bjergsen, from your perspective, is Fortnite the League killer?
I don't think I have a good perspective because I haven't played PUBG. I haven't played Fortnite. In the season, I don't play other games, and even in the off season, I had other stuff I wanted to do than play PUBG. So, I mean, it seems like it's a genre that people like a lot. I know my younger brother plays those games. My teammates really like playing those games, and in last year's summer split, PUBG was kind of like the LCS team killer. Like I know, just from memory, the teams that played the most PUBG were probably at the bottom of the standings or pretty close. So maybe it's a killer of LCS teams and their skill. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know about as an esport.
Dude, that happened with Overwatch, and it happened with CS:GO as well. That like. Every time it's the like next top game, people just spam a lot.
I'll say I don't think Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite. I've played PUBG. I don't think it'll be a league killer. It looks pretty good, and it's like Skara said. It's like how League first was. Like it's kind of a casual game that has depth to it if you like want to get into it, but you don't really have to force yourself into it. Like you can be awful at it and still have fun, still kill people. So. I think it's a good game. I don't think League's going to go anywhere because League is a pretty good competitive game. I think we can all agree here that it's a pretty good competitive game. Unless Fortnite is going to be like the next competitive game, which I mean PUBG tried that and they succeeded pretty well, but they couldn't quite get there. I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't think it's going to kill it. Let's see now. I here wants to know, because you said you think solo queue is important. What do you think about the ranked ladder now, Bjergsen? Do you think that it has a meaningful impact, standings, for how good a player is? Because I always tell my chat, like, Challenger doesn't really mean anything competitive. Like, you can be Challenger and you can be a fucking awful player. It doesn't really... being Challenger doesn't make you good. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. But I do think that if you ever want to make it pro, you have to be able to get Challenger with ease almost, because I mean, I guess being Challenger doesn't necessarily mean that you're good, but not being able to make Challenger means that you're not good enough. So to some degree, it does matter. But I think whether you're rank 100, rank 200, or whether you're, I don't know, top 10, I don't think it has a huge, it's not a huge reflection of your skill.
Yeah, so the current rank 1 player it doesn't matter, right? Like he could be like the rank 200 player.
Yeah, if the rank 1...
I think it mostly comes down to how much do you want to try hard, how much time do you want to put into it. Like if I felt like rank 1 was something that truly mattered, then I would actually go after it, and I think pros feel the same, but they don't use solo queue to play their most try-hard champions and do a queue with someone and try their asses off every game. They use it to try new things, try new strategies, push their limits, try new matchups. I'll often see someone picking X champion, and then I'll pick a champion that has a strong matchup versus it, like a even matchup or maybe a slightly unfavorable matchup, so I can practice those rather than just, I see this champion, I'm going to hard counter pick it, because I personally think I'm already better than that player, so just hard counter picking him, I'm not going to learn as much as if I pick something that's closer or perhaps something that I'm more likely to play in a scrim.
Do you ever?
So I use it as a practice tool. I don't use it as aiming for rank 1.
Do you ever wish that solo queue, I guess, meant more? Like you could go into solo queue, like play your most try-hard champions and be, I guess, facing against equals or something like that?
Yeah, I don't really know how that would be a reality. I mean, I enjoy Korean solo queue a lot because it just seems like, I mean, it's pretty similar. There's trolls and there's flamers, but I don't understand when they flame me. I don't speak Korean. And it feels like the average level is still higher than NA, so just the average level of practice is better. But I think solo queue is not too bad in its current state. But I also just enjoy playing the game, and especially enjoy when new patches come out and like trying different champions, trying different things. I have a lot of fun doing that.
All right. We'll go. This will be the final question. This is a good one here. Captain Feed wants to know, at Bjergsen, do you ever want to become a washed-up streamer like I'm a Cutie Pie and Skara towards the end of your career? Just for the people, because the people like watching Bjergsen, dude. Have you ever thought about becoming a streamer?
Yeah, of course I've thought about it, but I don't know how sustainable it would be. I don't think I'm very entertaining or funny like you guys are. I'm just, people watch me because I'm good and because I guess to some level I'm what's it called, educational, or they learn things by watching me play. But I think if you want to make it as a content creator or an influencer, you actually have to have more qualities than just being good. So I think if I was to do that, I would actually have to I guess cultivate different skills to do well in that area. Because I think just being good at League is not going to mean that you'll be a good streamer or influencer. So I've thought about it, but I don't think it's something that caters too much to my personality. But it is a good, I guess it is, if you have the option to do it, I think there's not many excuses not to do it. And I would do my best if I chose to do so. I guess I would do my best to become more entertaining or become more of a influencer. Maybe focus more on chat and focus more on interaction, whereas right now when I stream, I just focus on the game and then I focus on subscribers, donations, and chat, whenever I can in between the games and such.
All right. Well, that's going to be it. Dude, let me tell Bjergsen, I think that I think you're a fantastic guy. I look, Scar, you could say the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think you'd be a good streamer. Like, you'd be better than you expect, I think.
Let me tell you something. If Scar can stream, dude, and he plays mid lane, imagine you in there, dude.
Yeah. Do you know where I am right now? Diamond 2. When you said you can't make it in a challenger, you're terrible, I was like, Jesus, dude. I'm like, oh.
I said you're not good enough to make a pro.
Oh. But it's
I believe in you, Scar. If you tried hardest, I believe in you, dude.
I get it.
That's kind of messed up, dude. But
people will watch you, dude. I think you're a great personality.
I agree with that. But
thank you.
Let's wrap it up now. I want to thank. Let's start off. I want to thank the Sourdough King for being in my life. Fantastic burger. Thank you again, Burger King, for making another stellar menu item. I want to thank Skara for joining me today. Skara, give the people where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter under Skara. I'll be streaming after this pretty soon. Yeah, just catch me around.
Bjergsen, if the people want more of you, where can they find you?
Oh, man. Twitter at Bjergsen is probably where I'm the most active. I stream on Twitch once in a blue moon. I'll probably be streaming more in the off season. What is my Twitch? Oh, TSM _Bjergsen. So, yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And you guys know where to find me. I'm here every Thursday for Beyond the Rift, 5 p.m. EST. It's been a pleasure having you all here. I want to thank everyone for coming out. That's going to be it for the show today. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.
Thank you, Björk, for coming on.